boys.
Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
He has time. He's got him. Side touch is there. Leaping grab. Touchdown. Touchdown.
To perfection, expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100, shipping is absolutely free.
Good morning, and hey, not only was it Monday Night Football, which was a pretty decent game from all intents, but my goodness, breaking 50 minutes ago, Davante Adams is now a New York Jet. Who would have saw that one coming? I mean, with all they're not going to tell you, but that was one of the places, and they made the move, conditional third round, and here's the kicker. The Jets are getting him for my favorite price, $19.93 is the salary the Jets are paying him. The Raiders are paying the whole thing. So he really wanted out. Oh, wait.
Well, they really wanted him out. That's what it was. They wanted him gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It gets even better. Yeah. Max Crosby. People have offered multiple firsts for him. And the Raiders have said untouchable.
That makes sense. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's more. Hold on. Eli Apple. Now a Charger. Signed a free agent contract. Eli, of course, being, the Super Bowl getting thrashed when he played for Cincinnati. But Eli is now signing. And wait, there's even more player movement. Oh, yes, the Lions have added Isaiah Thomas off the Bengals practice squad to help at defensive end. But wait, there's even more. Hassan Reddick. Remember that guy? Been holding out? Mm-hmm. He can now seek a trade. He's being greenlit by the Jets to seek a trade. Wow, what a morning, huh, guys?
Yeah, holy shit. You can tell we're starting to get close to that trade deadline.
How long till Detroit tries to trade for Hassan Reddick?
If I'm any team, I'm very weary on trading for him because, he wanted to go to the Jets there for a little bit, and then as soon as he found out he wasn't getting a big payday, he raised a big stink. I got to assume that's going to follow him wherever he goes. Unless somebody's willing to open up that freaking checkbook for him, he's going to be an issue.
Well, let's ask this question. Who's got the checkbook? Actually, better question. Who does not have the checkbook? And good morning, Dawn. And good morning, Luca. On his way back from his European adventure. Crosby should be dealt. Raiders are now in rebuild mode. Maybe, possibly, another day in England. terrible for you, Luca. That's terrible. They have to spend another day in a foreign country where you get good food and alcohol. And you haven't been to the London Museum? Go check out the London Museum. Fun fact about the London Museum: they have the biggest, most of the Egypt stuff you're going to find. But you go in that museum, I swear it's almost like a ghost town. And you go to the Egypt exhibit, and everyone in the museum is there, and it's like shoulder to shoulder. It's hilarious. So if you haven't checked out some of those sites, go check it out, Luca. Anyways, who doesn't have the money or the capital to get Hassan Reddick should be the more appropriate question. But before we do that, Joe, Devon, where'd he go? Oh, God. Joe, Devontae Adams is now a New York Jet. You have got received a conditional third-round pick, and you're paying the contract. How do you feel this morning?
I didn't see that we were paying the contract.
Yep. Unless I read it wrong. Let me.
I don't think the deal was ironed out. I think they had a deal. They were trading him, but I just didn't think the details were ironed out yet.
Yeah.
They're still ironing out details.
That's what I thought.
No,
I didn't know what he was. That's how I thought. When he said the Raiders were eating it all, I thought, well, what the fuck? How did you get that? That's a lot to take, I mean, that just says the Raiders wanted to get rid of him that bad. That's a lot.
Nope.
Fuck.
As of 50 minutes ago, Adams to reunite with Rodgers for conditional third-round pick. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Raiders will not pay remaining salary. I misspoke.
Oh.
My bad. Yeah.
So the Raiders aren't paying. Okay.
Yeah. So I misspoke. My bad.
Fucking Jets. They got to come up with that money and shit it somehow. What the fuck?
So first, this is via Adam Schefter. Trade condition update. The conditional third-round pick the Jets are trading to the Raiders for Devontae Adams becomes a second if any of the following happen. Adams must be first or second team All-Pro, AP All-Pro on the active roster for AFC Championship game or Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Man.
Raiders pick up $13.6 million in dead cap this year, $15.7 in dead cap next year. The Jets are on the hook for $11.59 mil this year and $36.25 mil each of the next 2 years after, 25 and 26. And believe it or not, Devontae's already in New Jersey.
Man, he didn't waste no time getting out there.
As of an hour ago, he was in the building for the at the Jets facility. So they knew last night this was happening, and he got on an airplane. All right, so hey, look, the Jets lose a nail biter last night. They lost.
What's up with the kickers in the league, man? They all suck. Fucking kickers suck.
No, it's hit or miss. You got some who haven't missed a single kick. The kid in Dallas is really good. The kid in Cincy's really good. The kid in Cincy's really good. His one miss is only because the holder dropped the ball on a bad snap, and he still got the ball up. He just happened to miss. I mean, overall, the kickers are pretty good on balance. But
we're just a little skewed in Green Bay watching our kicker miss damn near everything. So anytime we see a kicker miss something, it's standing right out.
I mean, is there a limit to how many kicks you got to miss? I mean, he's missed 5 in the first 6 weeks. I mean, what the fuck? Is there a limit? I would be fucking – you would have been gone 3 kicks ago, 3 misses ago. I swear to God.
Well, look, I've lived this obviously a little bit more recently in some ways than you guys have because you guys want to talk about Cody Parkey, and the double doink, blah, 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 blah. I mean, and then the Bears went through this time period, like Pinheiro, who's still kicking the league, was with the Bears for a minute. And finally, like one day, Santos showed up, and he's now been the kicker for a couple years. And Santos, on balance, has been phenomenal. Now, I would say his only knock, if it's post 54 plus, you get questionable. But some of these young kids, man, like 65 is like a chip shot, it feels. So I think the league is kind of in a transitional period, maybe with kickers, where the emphasis is on distance, maybe a little bit more than accuracy. Good morning, Yoli.
Yeah, glad that you're back here, Yoli.
You're back. The Jets' new head coach Rodgers gonna fire the kicker. I mean,
I was gonna say, with Rodgers getting Adams there, I think right now almost anything could go on at the Jets, and Rodgers is riding on cloud nine. Now, next week or two, you start getting these misses from the kicker. Then Rodgers, the new GM of the Jets, might have something to say.
well, I mean, and Devontae didn't play, this week. The Jets are, good game too this week. Even better. The drama just intensified.
It really is some reverb,
Jets-
and when you do that again,
Yeah.
yeah, bro,
The
you
Jets-
got total reverb.
He's pain right now.
The Jets are on Sunday Night Football against Pittsburgh.
I see why you said, "Ooh, that actually sounds like a damn interesting matchup."
Well, no, it's not just that. It's Devontae. Think about it. Here we are Monday morning. Devontae is now a Jet. His first game on national television. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Against the first place
That
Steelers.
couldn't have worked out. Yeah, that couldn't have worked out any more perfect if you had the script writers of the NFL coming out with it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
That's what they waited for, bro. This is you ask somebody else conspiracy theory in the NFL, bro. Somebody's writing the script. Roger Goodell, I don't know who. Somebody's writing it.
well, we have our own Illuminati. We have Joe. Joe's right.
We got Joe. There he is. He peeks in the
Joe's,
corner.
there he is. Look at he just pops his thing. Goes, yeah,
He peeks in the corner.
Excuse me, I'm making some edits right
Got
now.
Illuminati Joe.
I mean, ooh. Yeah.
Shit.
Sunday Night Football will be Rodgers or Adam's first game. I got the bye week. Fun games. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, that's so harsh, bro.
So here's the question.
The NFL is
Devontae
just
going-
man, they ain't
Yeah.
fucking around.
Devontae going. Oh yeah, he's gonna play Sunday night. He's already in the building, dude. He's
He's
already in the
funny, yeah.
building, Matt. He was there. He got there and out. He was been in the building for at least an hour already. He flew out there last night. He's like,
Shit, he could
he flew
walk,
out there
he
the
could
gate.
walk in there Saturday and be ready to go Sunday since he's playing with Rodgers.
Yeah.
He might not know all the calls, but the
Bro.
freaking communication between him and Rodgers, all he's got to
Yeah.
do is give him a look. Oh, that's the road I'm supposed to
At
run.
halftime last night, he made the call. All right, get on the plane, bro.
I mean,
I'm
So
getting my
here's the
ass
question,
kicked. Get on
though.
the plane, bro.
so they just got Devontae, which means Hassan's not getting money. Because that's why I think about it. They get Devontae, then they tell Hassan Reddick. Remember, the verbiage was, there's no way in hell we're trading Hassan Reddick. Well, now they've got Devontae. Now the verbiage is, you may seek a trade. So, how long does it take Hassan Reddick to find a landing spot, and where does he go? Is it Detroit? Now remember, though, Hassan's not like a young guy. He's towards the back end of his career. And he wants a truckload of money. So who's going to do it? I would almost think the Lions have to be in that discussion, given what just happened to them.
I would think anybody in playoff contention.
But I
But
mean,
not
the Lions would have to
necessarily
be
because of
thrown.
what he wants. Like Reddick
Well, that's the
wants
problem.
somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 million a year.
Yep.
But you're the Lions. You just lost touch for the season. The best pass rusher currently in the league. or well, one of the best. He's a sack leader at minimum. And you just signed a guy off the Bengals practice squad. Doesn't really scream, ooh. So how do you replace him? Well, you just go sign Hassan Reddick. Or you trade for Hassan Reddick and then say, look, we're not going to sign you, but we're going to let you try to make a run to the Super Bowl. Because, oh, by the way, we're 4-1. Or 4-2, I'm sorry. And we're making a run. Want a ring?
Yeah, but what is his compensation for the year?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Like, what is his compensation for this year? Because
I would say it does not matter.
I'm wondering, is he under? Because he's not under Well, he's under contract with the Jets, but isn't he? For this year,
they trade the contract. Yeah, but look at the whatever he's owed this year. I mean, that's whatever. A team will make money work.
They're not trading him.
They'll restructure
they're
stuff,
not letting
move
Crosby
stuff.
go.
Yeah, they'll move stuff. Yeah, Tyler, everyone can want Crosby all they want. The Raiders said have already turned down multiple first-round picks for him. Which in a way is
but
crazy.
Tyler would rather spread disinformation.
Hey, don't forget, Joe. Only a few short weeks ago, Devontae Adams getting traded was disinformation.
Yes, Joe.
But Devontae contributed to that disinformation.
Absolutely. I'm not going to argue that point. I'm just saying it's possible.
And like Orlando's like, well, Holmes is frugal, so he won't do it. Well, you're kind of like in a window that, if you look at the division, isn't that big. So you take your shot, man. If you're the Lions, this might be your last shot this year. I mean, you could be good next year, but right now you're good. You're 4-2. You have a 67% chance of making the playoffs. But you just lost your best pass rusher, or the best pass rusher in the league, which means your defense just took a massive hit. So frugalness may go out the door. Oh, but they addressed it. They got this defensive end, Isaiah Thomas, from a practice squad.
They had him before.
A practice squad defensive end is not Aiden Hutchinson.
Pretty sure they had him on there.
Yannick. Did Yannick sign somewhere? I want to say Yannick signed somewhere. No, you're not supposed to believe it, Sarah, that they can win a ring there, and good morning to you. But, it definitely improves the Jets' chances, probably. At least it gives them another weapon.
And I will say the Jets do have two things going for them that Green Bay didn't. They have a real defense as long as it can hold up without their former head coach. And they have another bona fide receiver next to Devontae.
Yeah, but they also have an interim head coach.
Yeah.
And that's never – when have you ever seen an interim head coach take a team to the Super Bowl? So,
Unheard of.
Someone asked about Yannick. Yannick is on the Baltimore Ravens right now.
In a way, it's kind of like exactly what Devontae deserves. Like, go hang out with your buddy Rodgers and win 6 games this year with an interim coach. And, like you thought we were dysfunctional, and now you're going to go over here. Like, they just fired their coach. So, I mean,
I know. That's what I said. They just fired Saleh, though.
So, do the Jets look more in tune last night than they did in London? Though, I mean, look, they almost pulled off the upset.
Yep.
So, I mean, they're already a better team.
Yeah, I will say that they had a lot better performance than I was expecting from them last night. I figured after getting rid of Saleh that, that team would take a bit of a hit, and they look pretty damn good comparatively.
They look better, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, look at adding Adams in that division.
That's the dead cat bounce, though.
But look at
that's
adding
the dead
Adams
cat bounce.
Adams only. I mean, look.
Sarah.
Obviously, the Jets got
It
better.
says lose with your buddy. Lose with your buddy instead
Yeah.
of being alone.
I mean, let me look at the division though.
It's fucking classic.
Oh, Sarah definitely has some good comments.
She fucking go lose with your buddy.
Go lose with your friend. Look,
This
at,
fucking
here,
man.
here's the AFC. Here is the AFC East currently after this week. The Bills are 4-2. The Dolphins are 2-3. The Jets are 2-4. The Pats are 1-5. The Jets are still in this game. In this thing. If you look at the conference right now, the 6th and 7th spot in the playoff hunt as of today are 3-game winners. The Jets are 1 game out. That's it. They're 1 game out.
The Raiders are 1 game out too. Like
They
just
are.
throwing that
They are
out there.
1 game out. But though, you're not wrong. However, though, the Raiders are trending in the wrong direction. The Jets are trending more up, right?
Wait,
Because,
aren't the
I
Jets
mean,
coming off
look,
2
you
straight
played-
losses right now?
No,
Yeah.
they are coming off 2 straight losses, but they just added a piece. You just lost a piece, right? So, and they have Aaron Rodgers. You have Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, but that
I-
piece
I
wasn't
mean-
playing for us anyway. So he's been on the sidelines
He
for the
didn't
last
play
3
for you.
weeks. So
That's true.
no,
But they just
Yeah, so-
added a piece that is going to play for them, and they have Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers and you have
but-
Aiden O'Connell.
I'm just saying we didn't really lose a piece if he wasn't playing for us already. So, you know,
Well, you lost
it's
a piece
like, I
from your
get-
roster. He was
Yeah.
still a weapon on your roster. He may not have played because of injury the last week or two, but he was still a piece. And you have Aiden O'Connell / Gardner Minshew,
Yeah.
and they have Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
I
so
think
if-
Aiden
if-
did
but-
better than Minshew actually.
I do too, and I think they're making the right call by going with them. I think, we've talked about Luke Getsy. I mean, the Raiders aren't out either. That they're 3rd place right now in that division, right, or 4th place in the division.
Yeah,
But it's early. Ain't happened. Look, maybe get rid of Devontae. Maybe he was bad in the locker room, and now the locker room improves and they start winning games. I mean, that can always
all
happen
these
too.
problems
It
so
could be-
early. All these problems so early in the season. You don't see this during training camp. You don't see this beforehand. I just don't get this. How does it melt down so quick? Because when did this start with Devontae? Like week 3, week 4?
Because
Actually,
during
last year.
training camp.
because
Training
during
camp?
training camp, everything's all sunshine and rainbows. Everything you think's gonna work great. Everything's just all gonna come together, even if it don't really
Honestly-
seem like it. You have that belief.
With Devontae, it just started.
Well, but it wasn't that
second
way with
Carl.
Devontae though. Like this training camp, AP wanted Devontae to play some in the preseason. He wanted all of his starters to get at least a little bit of time in the preseason, and Devontae straight up told him he wasn't going to play in the preseason.
That's fucked up. When did the players
so,
run
like,
the
what I
fucking
was
show?
gonna
When did
say-
that shit start? Holy fuck!
What I
So,
was going to say with Devontae,
I would say it's been
with
before the
Devontae-
season that there's been.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that with Devontae, it was the second Derek Carr was run out of town. That's when it started. When your last head coach ran Carr out of town, that's when it started. Carr went there for one reason and one reason only. I want to play with Carr. You get a head coach, the guy who kills franchises, he's killed 2 now. He comes in there, runs Carr out of town. That's when Devontae wanted out. Right then and there.
I don't know. I don't
They
know
might
if we're
as well-
dead yet. He definitely shot us in the head, and we're on life support. But I don't know if we're dead yet because, like, we still have a
He
good young
screwed you
core
guys
of
over.
players.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
Joe,
definitely. I'm not.
You guys.
He
no,
almost killed our
He
franchise,
killed you
but
guys. Yeah, but he killed
But
you
we
guys. You
still-
guys were an ascending playoff threat. The year before,
Yeah.
you just missed out. You were ascending playoff threat. He comes in the first and he trashes the team. He gets rid of Carr, right?
mhm.
And all of a sudden, the Raiders are dysfunctional. He did to you what he did to Denver. Let me put it that way. But the thing is, you guys
I don't
caught
think
it
it was as
faster than
bad, though.
Denver did. You guys
Yeah.
caught it faster than. Let me finish. You guys caught it faster than Denver did, and exercised out that cancer before it took too much of a hold. And then you didn't bring in Hackett the next year. You actually got a head coach that the players rallied around, that they loved. You did it internally. You know, that's where the Raiders differed from Denver. But that's one of the problems with Devontae Adams started. The second they got rid of Carr, he was like, you know, he gave him a fair shot. I won't say Devontae didn't give him a fair shot. I think he gave him a shot. He's like, all right, well, let's see what they can do. But very quickly, he wasn't happy. I think that he didn't like the coach, which was obvious. And when Carr was gone, he didn't like any of the quarterbacks there. And then he liked AOC, right? Better than Garoppolo. He's like, get that bum out of here. And then when they decide not to go with AOC this year, he's like, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah. But when McDaniels left Denver, by the time he left Denver, he had traded all their good players away, and like he'd really completed the deconstruction job. So I don't disagree with you that he fucked us over and he set us back probably years. But you know, the Raiders were able to at least maintain a good, you know, core of young players that they can build on. So they're not completely fucked, you know. I mean, this year is gonna suck.
Take it.
This year's gonna suck.
But he killed your franchise, or you know, in the short term, killed it.
All the upward momentum we had, he definitely killed it.
He killed it. Yeah, killed it.
Yeah, all that upward momentum that we had, he killed it.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah,
that guy's gone in. You got rid of Cutler in Denver, Carr in Vegas. He cost the Denver Brandon Marshall, who at the time was an All-Pro, one of the best wide receivers in the league. He bolted the first chance he got, and now Devontae in the aftermath of him, because it was jacked up so poorly, and Devontae went there for one reason only, and the guy went and got rid of him right quick. So I mean, this is still an effect of that coaching hire. So
can you imagine where the Raiders would be right now with Carr? If Carr was still their quarterback, like I'm not saying they'd be 6-0 or anything, but I definitely think they'd be better than 2-4 right now.
And you wouldn't have your star wide receiver wanting out, you know.
Yeah, they would have been a playoff team. It all comes to why'd you hire McDaniel, and why didn't they just go with the interim head coach that everyone loved on that team and rallied around after Gruden had to leave, which is still in the court.
Well, I think the whole Gruden thing is what killed the team.
Why'd they go with McDaniel? Oh, because you know, look at all the success he had as a coach. Yeah, the Patriots and just that. Yeah, but what? Look at his one head coaching experience. Well, it will be different this time. Okay, it wasn't. McDaniel should never get another head coaching job ever.
Oh God,
if your team ever hires McDaniels, that's your owner saying we're destroying this team and rebuilding. Don't worry, the guy's gonna be here for a year or two, and they're gonna fire him and have to rebuild. That's what it says. The Panthers should hire him. Sarah fired shots this morning. Sarah says the Panthers should have hired McDaniels to deconstruct their team. Their owner kind of did that for them.
I was going to say they're doing a good job without him.
That trade they made with the Bears did it. I mean, honestly, the amount of talent they've missed out on and lost. You lost DJ Moore. No, missed out on Caleb Williams. You lost the other guy we got because of that trade is Tyreek Stevenson. Is part of that trade. You know, I mean, and we still got our pick coming. We're gonna have a very good second round pick from that trade coming. Yeah, the Panthers. Oof. So big news other with Devontae leaving, and now Hassan Reddick is available to go. I would assume that we're gonna hear tons of rumors about the Lions.
Well,
the Raiders need a pass rusher too. If I was, I might
Who?
call the Jets and be like, "Hey, dude, we'll give you a fourth for Hassan Reddick."
Who, the Raiders?
Yeah, we need a pass rusher.
I think they would. I don't think so. Honestly, and here's why: they would have made that part of the Devontae discussion. I think the Jets would have
Maybe.
gone, "Hey, I bet at some point in the discussions, the Jets went, "Hey, look, you've got a disgruntled wide receiver. I've got a disgruntled defensive edge. Let's just swap them." And that would have been a very good trade, actually, in some ways, right? And then maybe the Raiders, but I don't think the Raiders
Are you
want
swapping the money too? Are you swapping the money? I mean,
well,
how
the
much
money's
is
about
how much is the Jets on the hook for Reddick? I mean,
you would, because the Raiders didn't pay any money on this. I mean, they got some dead cap, which is fine, but Hassan, yeah, you would just take that on his contract. So I think the Raiders could have had him, but they said no, we want the pick. We don't want Hassan. I don't think they're looking to add another defensive piece. They're looking to add offensively, and not defensively, because their defense is pretty good right now. And Myles Garrett might become available too. Who knows what goes on in Cleveland? And maybe a certain guy, Micah Parsons, might become available too, because look how bad Dallas is. So
word is Jacksonville's blowing up their team too.
Jacksonville might have, and I think the Bears. That's where the Bears go raiding. They're going to try to raid some offensive linemen. I don't think the Bears are in any conversation for any defensive edge right now. I mean, Hassan Reddick might be a little bit of a changer. If it's Hassan Reddick, Garrett, and you can give up your second-round pick and not Carolina's, you might do it, because remember, the Bears have that extra second-round pick. So the Bears do have kind of like a free second-round pick to play with to make a trade for one of those guys, right? But the question is, do the Bears, given what they added right before the season started and how that defense is going, do they want to change the chemistry? Do they need is a defensive edge really what they need? Or is it maybe they might, if they're making any trades defensively, I think the Bears might be looking for a corner, right? Because of some injuries that have happened, considering your two starters are out, right? Brisker was out last week, and so was Stevenson. They might be looking for a corner more than an edge. So I think you take the Bears out. I don't think the Packers are going to make that move. The Lions, they have the biggest need. The Vikings aren't going to make that move. I mean, if you're looking at the North, the Lions are probably the only team who are going to be in that. Would that be a fair assessment?
Yes, but I wouldn't 100% rule out Green Bay looking at getting some type of defensive lineman, just because of the lack of pressures we've had along this defensive line to start the season. Granted, yes, there's a lot of hope that once they get more playing time together, that they're going to start generating more pressure. Well, right now it's not coming to fruition, and you got to do something to change that up. So they could possibly be going in for maybe not some blockbuster guy like Reddick there, but I could see them shopping for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. Okay, I can understand that. More than the Bears, but I would still probably say the Bears and the Vikings are out, because for them that's not their need. I mean, the Vikings have some money next season, which they could, right? But dude, they've got a good edge rusher they just signed, and they got a rookie who's tearing it up. I don't know if they necessarily would want to. I mean, if it's an improvement, I guess you do it, but. And then the same can go for the Bears. It'd be an improvement, but does it improve you enough to move you the needle for you that much this year? I guess Garrett would move the needle for anyone. Like I would pay.
Did the Browns say that they're going to trade him?
No, but come on, they're getting to that point of the season. They're looking to. They're going to be sell. I think they'll be selling. Their problems are more than just their quarterback.
Yeah, but I can't see them selling Garrett.
No,
I think that's the one guy they'll hold on to.
yeah. To me, he seems more like the heart and soul of that team, kind of like Max Crosby is to the Raiders. That yeah, you'd get a lot for him, but you'd also lose a lot from a locker room perspective.
We're not giving up Crosby, dude. Well, I'm not going to say
Well,
we're
yeah,
not
and the
because
Raiders,
I
like I said,
don't control the Raiders
well,
front
the Raiders
office.
have already the Raiders have already turned down supposedly multiple first-round picks for him. So to me, I mean that's your proof right there, Joe. If they're trading out first-round picks, so if you look who's out there, Hassan Reddick is now available to a team. Rumors are starting to float that Garrett may be leaving. That he could be bought from Cleveland. If you look at the Cowboys, what's going to go on in that situation?
Yeah, because the Cowboys getting absolutely dismantled. I definitely think we're going to see a whole coaching regime change by the end of the year. That everybody that had anything to do with this team this past year, I think they're sending on the wayside and hiring all new. Because you're now stuck with Dak since you decided to give him $60 million a year.
And the Jags could be a fire sale that happens. Look, if the Jags lose in London this week, that coaching staff is gone, and they're a fire sale.
Hold on,
I don't even think they put Peterson on the plane. They just leave him in England.
The greatest.
Speaking of Dak Prescott, could I just throw out there real quick that I really wish that I could play football, that I could play quarterback at a mediocre NFL level, because I could be making $60 million a year right now.
Well, anyways, back to the Jaguars thing.
Right, Joe?
Doug Peterson, I swear to God, is trying to get himself fired. He literally said in a press conference that we need a culture change. Isn't that your job as head coach to install the culture?
Yeah.
Are you just trying to say, hey, Jaguars, please fire me? I'm tired of being here. They're tired of having me here. Let's go.
Real quick, good morning, Eric, and that's 37 diamond push-ups, please. We're back to that, I see. 37 diamonds, my friend. Enjoy your morning in the gym. Hey, I'm just helping. I'm looking out for Eric Bell. That's all.
Who do the Cowboys have left at fire sale? They signed Dak. They signed all their good guys. Who are they? I mean, who are they going to get rid of? Parsons?
They're all tradable. I think the only one that you can't move off that roster because of the contract is Dak Prescott. I think everyone else in that roster they could find a trade partner for.
Yeah,
if they wanted to move.
I'd take CD. I'd take CD if fucking in a heartbeat.
I do not think that Dallas is going to be getting rid of any of their players. I think that Jerry Jones believes they have the talent to be one of the best football teams in the NFL. That it's just the horrible coaching staff, offense, and
I would probably agree with that.
Yeah, that's what I honestly think. I think they're going to ride this shit out, get rid of everybody there, and add in a couple of high draft picks for whoever the hell they have is their head coach. That's honestly what I believe.
So let me ask this question.
Soft ass Charmin, man. Fucking A, bro. That is fucking
Belichick?
Ridiculous.
Is Belichick going to go to Dallas?
Hell no.
I don't think him and Jerry can do it. Like Jerry wants too much control.
Yep.
Belichick's going anywhere. He wants full control, dude.
Belichick's not the type of guy to stand there and let some guy whisper in his ear, tell him what to do. He's not that guy, bro. He's not. Nope.
Dude, the Jets are not getting rid of Sauce Gardner for a conditional sixth rounder and what? And Aaron Jones? Not going to happen, Luca. Not going to happen, Luca.
Where is that crazy shit?
While we're at it,
Aaron Jones is tradable now, ain't he, Luca?
Hey, the Chiefs should go ahead and trade Pat Mahomes for a conditional 7.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking. He's ready to trade Jones. Get him out of here. 5 games in, get him out of here.
So I think we're going to be hearing the Lions, though. Obviously, though, too, with Hutch now being out for the year. The earliest he could possibly come back, if everything works out perfect, would be the Super Bowl. which I don't think would happen even if he was ready, because then he wouldn't have played the entire season. You might as well just keep a practice squad guy in at that point because he hasn't seen game action since now. That usually doesn't work out too well, missing a whole season. And I'm going to show up for the Super Bowl. It probably wouldn't work out too well. So Hutch is done. They won't see him on the field the next year. So if they want to win this year and possibly next year, I could see them trying to make the move for Hassan Reddick and say, you know what? We were talking how we need more help for Hutch anyways. So for now, at least he replaces Hutch. Let's see where we can go. But maybe then next year, we have Hassan Reddick and Hutchinson. So for the Lions, it kind of makes some sense if they can work the money out.
Fuck the Lions.
Honestly, like, I don't think it's going to happen, but I just throwing it out there, the possibility. Like, the Jaguars are probably going to get rid of Peterson, right?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I think I think the owner, I think it's Shad Khan, the owner of the Jags. Yeah. I think he would actually be the kind of guy that would give Belichick full control. And I wonder if, the opportunity to coach Trevor Lawrence up would be appealing to Bill, because the Jaguars, they're not completely devoid of talent. They just don't have enough right now. So, but they're going to have a high draft pick.
So you want to see the evil empire recreated in Florida?
I'm not saying I want to see it. I'm just saying that, like, they're really realistically, there aren't a lot of options, but that would be, if I was Bill Belichick, that would be an option that would at least be somewhat appealing to me, because I'm going to get full control. I have a quarterback that's under contract that has shown spurts of being decent. And, I feel like if I'm Belichick, I feel like I can coach him up. And, like, Belichick's whole philosophy is build the defense. And then, so the Jaguars would instantly, over the course of a season or two, become one of the top defensive teams in the league, I believe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Joe's not wrong, because look, they've got talent. They've got, I know Jeremy's like, oh, but their offensive line isn't that good. But their offensive line at right guard, they have they have some all pros on that team that were just all pros the last couple seasons. That right now, I mean, it's not that they're not protecting their quarterback. They pretty much are. But that team has a lot of talent that's underperforming. And if the coach is even saying we need a culture change, well, then you're part of that problem, dude. And that's why your guys are underperforming. Now you're bringing in a Belichick, and he tends to get the best out of people. You've got trade capital. You've got a couple guys you can trade. Like, you could trade one of those 3 all-pro offensive linemen you've got sitting there and get some extra trade capital, be it like an extra second-round pick out of a Bears or another team or a Minnesota, who probably could use it as well, for example. And now you bring in a head coach with, obviously a really good pedigree, and you could turn Jacksonville around. And I think Belichick likes that, because within the division, he just left, so he could tell Kraft he wasn't done.
I think Luke is right.
Or they're in the South, so that's outside.
Too busy.
Dude, I know.
And there's
Bill
also you also have to remember, when Bill left New England, like, all the talk that was going around was, it was all Tom Brady. It was Brady that won those Super Bowls. Right. Like, they completely diminished Bill's contribution to it. So I could see the ego in Belichick's wanting to say, hey, look, like, if I can go over here and turn this place around, then all of a sudden that whole thing flips again, like, where it's, maybe they're not going to say it was all me, but they're at least not going to say it's all Tom,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think you hit the nail right on the head there, Joe, that Bill has too big of an ego to stay away from the game, especially being this close to passing Don Shula's career wins as a head coach. I think that plays a major part in it too.
But I agree with the assessment
for the right deal. What's the right deal for him?
That Khan, I agree with the assessment that Khan might be willing to give him control, because Khan has never been that kind of owner who's had his hand in the cookie jar as far as personnel. So
exactly.
I can definitely see
and that's why,
Khan,
Luka, I don't think he would go to the Eagles, because Howie Roseman is too involved. Like, he's, You know, Bill's not going to work with him because Roseman is the one doing all their drafting, and he's doing a fucking awesome job. Like, let's be honest, the Eagles have been drafting really well for the last 4 or 5 years, dude. Like, so I don't think Bill and Roseman are going to. Go ahead.
And I don't know what Josh saying the Saints will land Belichick, but the Saints are kind of like, I don't think their coaches particularly on the hot seat. They are kind of a quagmire of a team, but I don't hear, look at, I'm in their market. I'm in their media market area, and I've heard nothing about the Saints looking there. There hasn't been in talk that I've seen. It's not to say there couldn't be, but I mean, look, there's some interesting scenarios that could play out here, and I think, but the first scenario is going to be the defensive ends, which Hassan Reddick now is available. I mean, which now you've got a big time defensive end available on the marketplace. He's probably healthy, you'd figure by this point, missing the first 6 weeks of the season. So any health concerns should be gone. Right? So where does he end up now? Does he end up in Detroit? Or does someone else make a splash? Do the Bears make a splash? I don't see it, but they could. I think the Bears have other needs. They're going to be looking at another guy in the line, possibly, or cornerback, right? Because like Sarah said, you're one major injury away from a season being derailed. So I mean, there's some very interesting things now as we finally get into the sixth week of the league is done. We've got a couple coaches that we could say are definitely on the way out if something doesn't radically change in their positions with their teams on the field. We just had a major trade take place. The trade deadline's what, 2 weeks out? Is week 8 or week 9, right? It's week 8 or week 9, right?
I think it's week 9 now.
Is it week 9? So I mean, you've got,
I think so.
We're coming into that trade deadline period. Yeah, I don't know though if the Saints, though, Josh, the Saints are just a weird organization, dude. If you haven't figured it out yet, they're a weird organization. I don't know if he's totally on the hot seat there, and I don't think they're going to fire. It depends on it. We'll see what happens the next week or two. If they lose 2 more games, like if they would lose the next 2 games, he might be out. But the problem is the Saints are playing good. They're just not playing great. They start off like on fire. They ended last year kind of on a good note. They started off on fire. The game they just lost was just a heavyweight fight, man. It was back and forth. It was a good-ass game. So like a loss like that doesn't put you on the hot seat. Yeah, it's a loss, but it was one that was like, it was a dogfight. So I don't know if there's coaching change, regime change, looking in New Orleans yet. I think they kind of like the guy. They think they're trending okay. They think they might have some personnel issues to work through. And of course, you just lost, and you lost this week with the rookie quarterback that you took, in the 5th round? And then you almost beat Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield. That's actually kind of a plus for that head coaching staff to actually have been in that game, having started in Rattler.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if the Saints are looking to make a change.
Yeah, and then the inverse to that, to go off of Luca's comment that he's going to say that the Eagles head coach has gone after the season. I am 1,000% going to back him up, because even with them winning against the Browns, the Eagles fans tore into Sirianni like crazy for him talking trash with the Cleveland Brown fans. Like, dude, you do not have that kind of standing to be able to do that.
Yeah, I agree with A-Dub. Saints are they're a quagmire team. They're middle of the road. Yeah, Josh, but a lot of the game was a dogfight till the defense kind of died out at the end. If you watched that game, I know I did. It was a really good game. The Saints aren't firing their coaching staff yet. They may by the end of the year, but not yet. We'll see how the rest of their season goes. I'd say that seat's lukewarm, but it's not a hot seat yet. It's not like with the Eagles, maybe you're seeing in Philly maybe a little bit. And I think that might be because of the trash talk. And he even did to the Eagles fans, right? Threw his arms up, what? And it's definitely not what's going on in Jacksonville. New York Packers.
Yeah, no. We're not making shirts like that. I mean, the only New York Packers you're going to get is New York Green Bay Packer fans.
Yeah, sir. We all feel bad for Hutch.
Hey, did you guys happen to see the slow motion of that play?
Oh yeah, bro.
No,
The way his legs snap up.
Oh, it was brutal. You definitely feel bad for that guy with the way that his leg wrapped around the other player's knee. Oh my God.
It's not like it was a clean break, so I mean that's the best you can hope.
Holy shit! Wait, let's mark this date in history. Josh agrees with me on something. Mark this day in history.
Yeah, it's only going to happen a couple of times, Ken. Don't get used to it.
I know.
Look, it's the fake Dom. It's the fake Dom. Fuck them dirty birds, Dom.
Yeah, Dom.
Yeah, this guy out here painting houses instead of coming on the show.
I know, fucker.
Yeah, I think so. Broski's in a fight with Lions fans right now in the chat. Okay, but I think what Broski's saying is because some people, I don't think Broski is cheering for an injury, but he's his comment, basically Lions fans are crying that people are talking about the injuries, saying that Lions fans are soft. There are some out there. I wouldn't include the Lions fans in this chat here into that group. So I kind of understand where Broski's coming from, but because that's in every fan base. There is that group in any fan base. Don't mention his name or you're this. So, I mean, I get what Broski's saying. It's not necessarily the people in this chat, but I mean, we know it's out there. So,
oh yeah, that's like with Packers fans. You still got some of them. Anytime you have any slight criticism of Rodgers, they come completely unglued.
Holy
like,
God.
Hey, I absolutely love Rodgers, and anybody who's watched any podcast I've been on knows that. But I'm also a realist too. When he's playing poorly, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
That's when you go fake fan.
Right, crazy day, guys. Crazy day. Devontae Adams, the Jet. Hassan Reddick is officially available. I think the only reason that boy still has his job with the Jags is because they're in London for another week.
Yep,
I fully
1000% believe that too, Ken.
I think the Jaguars have a new head coach a week from today. They'll have a new coach a week from today. He's got to know that this Monday,
mid-season. That's the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like if they weren't in London, he'd already be gone.
Yeah, because they suck.
Man, can you imagine? They fire him right when he gets back from England. Is any coach going to want to go play in England again? We had 2 head coaches get fired on the return trip home. There ain't no way in hell I'm going over there.
Hey, Eberflus and Caleb love going to London. Caleb set a rookie record for London games. He's the first actually quarterback to go over there, rush for 50, throw for 4. So he's liking it. Eberflus is liking it. So yeah, there's some coaches who are liking it, man.
Well, you got a 50-50 split. The coaches that got to keep their job when they came home and the ones that didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
And Sarah, you might add a civil war, but 5-0, that quells a lot of wars when you're undefeated. That stops everybody from fighting. I don't know if it was Kirk, it was your problem, but
well, their quarterback issue was their issue last year for sure. Because when Kirk went down, that team just nosedived. But the interesting thing with them is they're look at they've been lucky. They haven't had to play from behind. They haven't had to play in,
Yeah.
the Ghost Whisperer hasn't had to play from behind and create and had that pressure of, oh my God, I got to make something happen. But that's going to happen at some point this season. And then he's going to start making mistakes, and then we'll see what happens in Minnesota. Like if it happens in one game, that's just one game, right? But what happens if they come into this Detroit game and they get down 2 scores and then Darnold unravels, right? Then the question is, it's like, okay, fine, he did it against the Lions, no big deal, right? It was one game. But now if it becomes 2 or 3 games where that happens, then Minnesota's going to have issues. I don't see that happening against this Lions defense this week because they're next man up, but they're in a little bit of a crisis mode in Detroit right now with the defense. They have to redesign some things to make up for losing Hutch. That's a big piece to lose, man.
Yeah,
That's a big
huge piece.
That's a big piece to lose. So,
absolutely.
It's not, but it's not to say they can't overcome it. Just got to show you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. We've watched football long enough to know there's Cinderella stories out there of they lost their main guy, but this dude that nobody's even heard of came off the practice squad, off the couch, and he lit up the league as soon as he came in.
So I mean, the Vikings are sitting pretty right now. They've got a better than 80% chance to make the playoffs, something like that. They're looking good right now. I don't see them making many moves at all. The Lions are probably. I bet they're calling about Hassan Reddick today. I'd almost guarantee they're calling about Hassan Reddick today. I would if I were them. Well, Sarah, I don't know if this is the easier part. The Lions aren't that really easy. Lions are still a good football team.
Yeah.
Case Keenum. I mean, I'm not throwing shades at the Vikings either, Sarah. Don't get me wrong. But that Cinderella piece they're gonna lose a couple games this year. I mean, I think they are. It's just a matter of when, and then how does Darnold react?
Yeah, the Vikings could definitely go for a good backup because, as you saw with Jones, he can be taken out relatively easy-ish.
Rob, they're not getting rid of NTN down there. I don't even know if they'll get rid of Miles Sanders down there, to be honest with you. They might. I don't think they're getting rid of NTN, though.
See you, Josh.
There you go, Joshua. That's what we like to hear. Go, Pack, go, and you have yourself a great day, too, buddy.
Yeah, just remember the Packers suck. Yeah, the whole division. I mean, look at it. According to a certain Vikings fan who I won't name, we all suck. Okay, we're all 4-2, but that's okay. None of us have a right to talk. Only the Vikings. Okay, you're 5-0. We're all 4-2. The whole division's freaking good. Right now, the division's good. Best division in football.
Yeah, we're making history with this division.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Well, hey, pay close attention to that waiver wire, fellas, because I think we might see some moves this week. So division games are coming up here in a couple of weeks overall. Ooh, this division's going to be fun. And on that last terrible take, we'll bid you guys adieu. Don't forget JB is following us with the Kneecap Fighting Society there. And no, the Packers don't suck. Okay, Josh, they don't suck. They're just not as good as the Bears right now.
Josh came back. Josh
came back.
Yeah, Hell throws over. Ken said the Packers don't suck. Oh my God.
They don't suck
Everybody
totally.
make sure you go play the lottery today.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, JB is next. We're gonna exit you with the coffee commercial today because we went over. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.
To perfection, expect nothing else. Do you like to make yourself a hot cup of coffee to start your day? We have both whole bean and grounded. Also great for all you iced coffee if not a hot kind of person. Even make yourself a frappe to quench your thirst. The best tasting coffee with espresso. It's only $18.99 plus taxes for a 12-ounce bag. Buy 1 to 5 bags and shipping is only $7. If you spend over $100